Right, let's talk about Super 6. How did you lads do? I can start off. I got 2 correct results and a few other points. I got 12 points in total. It's unbelievable.
Sounds like you've had a better week than me. I got 7 points. I did get one bang on, which is the Bournemouth-West Ham game at 1-1. But 7 points in total for
7 points for me as well, Adam. 7 points for me as well, which is a shame. I expected to do a lot better. 7 is pretty pitiful from the pair of us, you know.
Yeah, it's not great, especially when this geezer's getting 12 points. Make sure you join in our league. The code is Club23 to join our league. Please be in there because just like Daniel Smith, you can win great prizes. And Daniel Smith got 24 points in the opening weekend of Super 6. And guess what? For finishing top of our league, he gets £1,000. £1,000 for finishing top of our league. He was also playing as well for £1 million, but no one won £1 million in the opening weekend, which means it rolls over to the next round. And you want to be a part of that. If you haven't downloaded the Super 6 app yet, download that. Make sure you join Super 6, get involved every single round, and of course, join our league. Club 23 is the code. Some big games coming up
Next
this weekend.
Next week's going to be madness, isn't it, for Super 6? Tottenham versus Man United, City versus Newcastle.
We're doing those games live, by the way, in a double header on Saturday
100%.
night.
Let's talk about them very quickly then. How are you feeling going to Tottenham? Postecoglou? How are you feeling about that?
I'm a little bit wary of it because you know what I always hate? A new manager's first game at home, especially in the first game of the season for them at home.
You don't want to be playing a new manager at home. I do agree with you.
You don't want that situation.
But it's Tottenham.
But it is Tottenham. They obviously didn't have the best of times out against Brentford. I thought there were a few things that maybe are positive for them, but I'm hoping the pressure of them being at home, Man United turning up, hoping that we can get a good result against them. And I think we will. The Man City-Newcastle game is I can't quite call it, you know.
My head is saying that we don't win this game. My heart will be on the Super 6 app predicting a 4-0 win. But my head will say that actually Newcastle will get into the game. They might score first. They might hit us on the counter-attack. And it will be a lot tighter.
Mate, it is a glorious day of footballing sensation. I cannot wait for it. Like, that is going to be the day of all days. It's like the Capo di Tutti Capo of football. Like, this is it, isn't it? Like, it doesn't get better than that. Manchester United going to Tottenham has a history of being a decent game.
Definitely,
expansive. Both have traditions of playing in an expansive way. High scoring, particularly Postecoglou now. And Manchester City, Newcastle. Like,
that could be an anything game. I mean, it could be such a high scoring kind of 3-3.
I know kind of like this umming and ahhing about Man City and the Newcastle game comes from how good Newcastle were against Aston Villa.
I'm not umming and ahhing about my result, by the way. I think Boovy's umming and ahhing. I'm convinced Man City will win easy.
But what do we think? Are Man City weaker than last season?
Yeah, they're weaker, but they're still better. Like, they could be weaker, but still better than Newcastle.
I think any side that wins the trebles instantly weaker because of the weight of expectation. You don't win back-to-back trebles. I mean, it's unheard of. It's unheard of to win back-to-back Champions Leagues, except for the rare occasions.
But winning
You're
back-to-back
always
leagues,
slightly more vulnerable because everyone's figured you out.
but retaining a league isn't unheard of.
You can't say something's unheard of and then say apart from the few occasions. That means it was heard.
It's unheard. It's rare. It's rare to see Real Madrid win 3 in a row. That's incredibly rare.
Sometimes winning makes you stronger.
Yeah.
I don't
Sometimes
think
you're stronger
that
than
doesn't
yesterday.
kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah. And there's a world with City being such a young squad. Haaland's first season, he can only get better. Alvarez is in there. Rico Lewis came in against Burnley.
Are you saying
fantastic.
Haaland's a fraud? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that he had.
You'd rather Højlund.
I think he didn't get out of second gear
Is that what you're saying?
last season. He scored over 50 goals in all competitions, and he didn't get out of second gear.
On a
he can only
serious
get
note,
better.
though, you have
Højlund
lost...
or Haaland? Final chance.
Well, one's injured and is playing for Man United, and one's the champion.
So you'd rather be Rasmus
Højlund.
Højlund. Thank you very
I'd
much.
rather be Haaland.
You've lost Ilkay Gundogan and Riyad Mahrez, who are two amazing players and have been amazing players for Man City. De Bruyne's turned up. He's crocked again already this season, which is kind of just typical for him. Looks like he could be out for a while. The signings that you have made, Kovacic, Gvardiol, being linked with a few others, Jeremy Doku and Paqueta for £100 million, which you're buzzing to hear about. What impact do you think the loss of the likes of Gundogan, Mahrez, Potentially Bernardo's being linked with a move.
It's irreparable.
It's not irreparable. I mean, it's certainly especially with
irreparable. That's why
Guardiola. It's not irreparable. It implies that there's nothing City can do to get over the loss of Riyad Mahrez, a guy in his 30s, a guy that didn't even start the Champions League final.
What does that mean?
Start the
what does
final
that mean?
games
Didn't even start the Champions League final.
He wasn't trusted to start in the Champions League final.
Did Phil Foden start the Champions League final?
No, but he's young. He's got a ceiling to go. He's got 8 years to go.
We got to stop with this young thing with Foden every year. You know.
Yeah.
The point of
he's got to be starting week in, week out.
There's a reason Riyad Mahrez is in Saudi Arabia. He's at the back end of his career. He's already proven himself.
Is this a fair statement?
Part of the reason you got to that final was Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah.
So
I love Riyad Mahrez.
but to constantly go, well, he didn't start the final. He didn't start the final. Okay,
the reason I bring that in is because he didn't start the Champions League final. Pep Guardiola doesn't see him in his long-term plans for City. That's why he got shafted out to Saudi Arabia, and we could be bringing out to.
But he does see Phil Foden. Phil Foden didn't start the Champions League final.
He came in on 20 minutes in and dominated the Champions League final. So of course he's got a future at City. Riyad Mahrez in his age category isn't going to be a long-term viable prospect
but it's
for
not
Man
about
City.
long-term. So about this
not every
season.
footballer is the same. Riyad Mahrez is older than Phil Foden. And he's
Riyad
less
Mahrez is
viable
a
for
Premier
the
League
City squad.
icon, and the gap that he leaves in that team is irreparable for your team.
Not if we sign a winger that's got a massive ceiling in Doku, who's a fantastic player.
In terms of replacing him for this season,
right now, yeah.
You haven't got anybody that can do what Riyad Mahrez can do this year.
We don't know that. Bernardo Silva can start on the right. Phil Foden can play in midfield, and we've got a backup winger in Doku.
Bernardo Silva, another player that.
But that means you're losing Bernardo Silva from his rightful position.
He played most of last season in right wing. That's why Riyad Mahrez didn't start.
Okay,
where also De Bruyne is missing from as well because he's injured.
Yeah, De Bruyne's a massive loss, and we've now lost Ilkay Gundogan's goals. Now, the point you're making about Mahrez, I think, is apt for Gundogan because he was unplayable at points at the back end of last season. Some of the goals he was scoring was the goal against Everton. It's unbelievable.
Clutch.
It's just slightly less for Riyad Mahrez.
He won in the league the previous year.
Yeah, so can Kovacic come in and score those kind of goals?
Of course he can.
No, he can't. But he did come in and sort of have a good interview, sort of saying about Ilkay Gundogan's legacy at City, and I think he'll come in.
Kovacic had a good interview.
Yeah, he said.
Irreparable, bro.
But Kovacic came on against Burnley and he was absolutely fantastic. His passing accuracy was 95%. He'll be a Guardiola midfielder through and through.
Ooh,
that's massive.
Stats at me.
Yeah, but
the man who
I don't like stats, but all I'm trying to say is he didn't lose the ball for City.
Stats
you went there
for twat.
For a midfielder, he's fantastic.
You went there. 95% pass accuracy. You went there.
Yeah, that's very high for a midfielder.
It is, but it doesn't tell half.
It's very high for anybody.
But where
for any player,
95%.
Yeah, but for a
mid story though, does it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
I'll tell you the story. Coach has come in for 25 million quid. He's got, he's 28 years old. He's already a double Champions League winner with Real Madrid and Chelsea. To sign in for 25 million quid is fantastic business.
28 till he's 29. We predicted that City would still win the league. I agree that they have got weaker. So why do me and you particularly think they're still going to win the league? I realise Rory should have asked this question, but I've asked it anyway.
I like it. You're doing it in a sort of existential sense. Why do I think they are going to win the league? Yeah, I like it. You've got a little bit as a thinker, footballing thinker. Why do I believe that this is going to happen? I think Arsenal are going to win the league. But you tell me why you think.
Yeah, why
does Adam think? Do
you think Arsenal will win the league because they've got weaker? Because Arsenal?
I think a combination of four factors. Arsenal have got stronger. Manchester City have got weaker. The Dwight York effect and 4 has never been done.
Now, for the people on Super 6 that haven't heard us explain the Dwight York effect before, do you want to explain it?
Dwight York lost his motivation, effectively. I mean, there's a long and winding story that he went to Ferguson, he asked for a year off, he didn't really know.
Is Dwight York in the situation from City, just so I'm aware of the reference?
It could be any of them.
It could be the whole club.
I was just thinking of the striker that scored within 4 minutes against Burnley.
No. It's not a direct correlation to Haaland. It's just a direct correlation to mentality.
There's a flat mentality.
Mentality. Yeah. Dwight York went from being one of the most driven footballers around to going, I need a year off on full pay because I don't really fancy it.
And also,
that feels something of the
Dwight
past.
York is like the extreme. Some of the players could just have a little bit of that.
I don't think anyone in your squad is Dwight York, but the margins are so small that
might take a Ruben Diaz slip or whatever.
If somebody is just slightly less motivated than they were last year, and Arsenal are slightly more motivated than they were last year,
I'd be encouraged with how Pep Guardiola kind of manhandled Haaland at half-time, was telling him really kind of...
That was performative. That was for the cameras. And then he got annoyed that the camera was watching. He wouldn't have done
Jose
it if the camera
Mourinho
wasn't
shushing the camera and running down the touchline. All managers are performative.
It's like me doing something now and then going, move them cameras.
Yeah. I wouldn't be doing it. If the camera wasn't there, I wouldn't have done it.
All the top managers do it. But the reason I brought that up is because, they do. Mourinho was running down the touchline when they knocked you lot out of the Champions League. I remember that was a great night. That was a great... When he ran down the touchline when you got knocked out by Porto. Little Porto. Remember that little...
Was that when you were in the Championship?
Little
What are you
Porto.
talking about?
He's
we were in the
running
Premier
to
League,
the
actually.
He's running to the Porto fans.
But yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but not performative. He's running to the fans.
Anyway, I'm just trying to say Guardiola will keep all these guys to a high level and there will be no Yorkie effect, okay? No Yorkie effect, lads. What can I say?
All right, what we're basically saying here is City are weaker and they're not winning.
And also, let's just remember, 4 has never been done for a reason. There is a reason why nobody, the great teams of the previous eras, like Chelsea, some of the great teams that we've had, we ain't got close to 4. Like we haven't even had an opportunity to do 4. Some of your great teams.
I think you can say United and Liverpool. I don't think you can throw Chelsea in there in terms of all-time, English great sides.
I mean, you can.
I don't think you can.
No, I'm just saying that we went back to back.
Defending it is
fine. Yeah. It's
huge.
hard. It's very hard.
Defending it is huge.
Don't take one off.
You want 5?
Don't take one off.
Liverpool
or learn your history.
in Premier League
You're going to
era.
start.
How many before the Premier League era?
In Premier League era, only United, Chelsea, and City have defended it. Like, it's a very small group of clubs. Blackburn couldn't defend it. Liverpool couldn't defend it. Who else?
That's it.
Leicester City.
Arsenal. Did Arsenal retain?
Arsenal didn't retain.
Didn't retain, no.
Not the Premier League anyway. I don't know about the old division.
No.
But yeah, guys, that's the chat. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below on Manchester City. Are they going to mess the league up this year? Remember, we have over 6,000 of you in our Super 6 Mini League. The code is Club23. Please come along and join us. We're guessing you already downloaded the app. If you haven't, go and download the app and join our Mini League. Remember, £1 million is up for grabs again, but there's also prizes for those that win our Mini League. And you can be like Daniel Smith, who won £1,000 in our crowd boosted Mini League jackpot with 24 points in the opening weekend. Super 6 will be in touch with you to arrange your prize. Get in a league, Club 23. Big weekend this weekend. The Super 6 fixtures are, Boovie?
Liverpool versus Bournemouth, Wolves versus Brighton, Tottenham versus Man United, City versus Newcastle, Villa versus Everton, and West Ham versus Chelsea.
Okay, I know exactly what I'm doing for all of those. I know exactly what I'm doing. And let's all remember, right, that there is a free shot at £250,000. Hold tight, what? Scratch that out. $1 million. You can win $1 million for free. All you have to do is get the Super 6 app and join Club 23. £1 million for no investment. You may as well get involved. Follow the link in the description to sign up now.